Well, I mean, the last match was Manchester United went 2 goals up.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then Chelsea came back in the second half.
Yeah, I didn't see that match actually. I usually would watch the.
And Chelsea nearly got a 3rd goal, and it was at the Manchester United ground.
Yeah.
So it was a good comeback.
I mean, Manchester United usually do that, don't they? What was the famous European game about 8 or 9 years
Against
ago?
Bayern Munich.
Oh my God! I remember watching that match that night, and I mean, coming from Birmingham, you're never happy to see Manchester United do well, even though you have to admire them. But I would have been quite happy if Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe it when they won that game. I mean, it was like coming back from the dead.
Yeah, it was.
They weren't playing that badly, I know that, but like the chance of scoring that number of goals in that length of time was.
Yeah, it was really exciting. I've always liked Man United.
Have you? Yeah.
And the reason why is because if Man United win everything, it means all these teams with great pretensions like Liverpool and Chelsea and Arsenal, they aren't any more successful than Wednesday. So there's only one team ahead of Wednesday.
And way of looking at it.
Yeah, so.
You'd have to admire them. I mean, you'd have to admire Alex Ferguson. He couldn't do anything. I think he's a very, very, very clever man. He really is. I mean, he's a terrific man manager because he seems to. He seems to know exactly when to boot people out and when to keep them on side. And I'd say he's extremely ruthless. He doesn't seem to kind of have any qualms about getting rid of people once they start to.
Yeah, no, it's.
I used to quite like Arsene Wenger, but I think he's gone a bit funny recently. But I quite admire him as well. I mean, he's managed to do quite a lot without breaking the bank, hasn't he? And he's not.
I think somehow he's lacking.
He's been a bit sour recently as well.
Well, I think he needs somebody helping him.
Yes.
Somehow, I think he needs somebody who'd make a good team with him, a bit like Brian Clough had Peter Taylor.
That's right.
I think he needs somebody a bit like resist him a little bit, sort of thing.
He needs a bit because he's not quite. He never quite. Well, he does. I mean, Alex Ferguson has good help, doesn't he? Obviously. I can never remember the names of all of his assistants.
Yeah. Well, I think one's called Phelan. Mike Phelan, and for ages he didn't. Mike Phelan always came and spoke.
That's right, because he didn't speak to the BBC.
Because they'd had an upset with him or something.
I'd say he chooses his helpers very carefully.
Yeah, but I'm not. There's something really funny actually on the YouTube. And did you go and see the Glums, or more commonly known as Les Miserables?
No, I heard of it, but I didn't see it.
Anyway, I think maybe the Unfortunates is a more. I like the name the Glums though.
Yes, you do. Yes, that sounds like a Beano.
Yeah.
A Beano thing.
Yeah. I know it's far more cheerful than EastEnders, and. Well,
the Glums used to be a radio, the home service in the 1950s. The Glums was what's the name? It was a comedy show with Jimi Hendrix in about 1957. The Glums.
Was it the Glums?
I think that's called the Glums. The family were called the Glums, but I think the series was called something else.
Yeah, no. I remember hearing something about it. And anyway, basically, these somebody had made a spoof of the song from Les Miserables, which is one more day or one day more.
I don't like any of the music from that, but I know the one thing you mean.
You don't like it either?
I love musicals, old-fashioned musicals.
But you're not so keen on that. No.
It's some of it's quite good, but I'm just not. Wouldn't be mad at it. But I know the song you mean. I think anyway.
Is that? Well, I'll do you the tune, but I won't do it very long. It's that one that goes. Da 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 da. That one.
Yeah.
Anyway, that wasn't too long.
Well, I like it if you ripped that one off. It's a very aggravating bloody song.
And anyway, yeah. So the thing is, somebody's done a alter the and it's called Transfer Day Remix.
Yeah.
You know at the New Year they had the transfer window.
Yes.
And basically what happened was that they've got all they had various different players and they put words in their mouth and different football managers, and they've got Harry Redknapp there.
Oh yeah.
And Arsene Wenger and Roman Abramovich, and then one or two an Aston Villa player who didn't get picked.
Oh yeah.
You know, the Bent he's called, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
He doesn't seem to get picked very often, so he wanted to have a transfer because he wasn't being picked.
Yeah.
And then there's the Everton forward Fellaini, and he wanted to go to Chelsea. It implied because there were other Belgians there, and also because of the money and everything.
Yeah.
All this was implied in the song, sort of thing. So it was really funny. It only goes on 4 minutes, and I think you'd enjoy it.
Yeah, there's some of those things are very good. They can be very inventive, you know.
I've done a video called Granny Grand Prix.
What's that one? What's that one about?
Well, basically, it's about imagine a scenario where elderly retired ladies who normally serve tea and buns in a church hall to raise money for a good cause. There's some incredible cosmic turnaround, and they end up in the Grand Prix pit, responsible for changing the wheels and putting the petrol on and everything. And then I haven't done the other scenario yet, but basically the pit stop crew end up in the church hall serving the tea and cake sort of thing. And so basically I put on my I was in a pantomime a few years ago at the church, and I put on my sort of like my Doris voice,
Yes, yeah.
and and it's it's like welcome to the pit stop, young man, and
as if he's going to be there for a long time.
They're hoping to get him out in under 5 minutes.
Yes, instead of the 32 seconds. 15 seconds. That's very nice. That's good.
Yeah. Well, I've got it on the YouTube if you want to have a look at it. And I've got a nice. I have a lot of round the horn tapes. Absolutely love round the. And I think on the radio, much better obviously than the television, your mind does work, your imagination does work, because there's a nice one there with Kenneth Williams playing the part of a Grand Prix driver, and he comes into the pit stop and he's shouting, I'm hoping that's why I don't tell jokes, but he says something like, oil, I need more oil, so they give him the oil, and he goes off, and of course he's putting the oil on his hair, my hair was blowing around. But the radio is great, because of course when he says oil, I need more oil, you are thinking of a pit stop, and you're picturing them putting oil in the car. Then of course when he says it's for his hair, I like the way they're able to on the radio draw your imagination into imagining one thing, and then completely playing with it if it means something. Well, one of my favourites is Bob Newhart.
Oh yes, he's very, very good as well.
Yeah. And Joyce Grenfell as well.
I love Joyce Grenfell. I actually downloaded from YouTube of nice old songs on YouTube
Yeah.
that you can't get anymore. So I've got her singing Stately as a Galleon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love that, so I downloaded that from YouTube and I was on. That
Yeah.
shows me.
Yeah. Yeah, she's really good.
I think YouTube's great like that. You can get a lot of
Yeah.
old stuff that like people have, my age, like the other week I was watching Bill and Ben the Flower Pot Men.
Yeah, yeah.
I hadn't seen it for years. It was lovely.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to find. There's a nice clip somewhere, I'm sure, of an old Popeye cartoon, a very, very old one, the originals, and Olive Oil is singing a song. It's quite a kind of a bluesy kind of a song. But I don't know what it's called or anything. I don't know what
Well, I know one she sings. I don't know who would be the one. Is basically there's